Hi students, today we are starting with the next part of the lesson. The lesson which we have started is the reproduction in lower and higher animals and this is the part third. और आज हम लोग देखने वाले हैं कि reproduction में sequential process क्या होता है, different types of sex organs and the sexual characters. Okay, so let's start. First one is a human reproduction which we have started last time also and we have come to know different terms, new terms in the last lecture. So today we are going to see that the sequential steps in the human reproduction. So what is the sequential steps? Now as we know that sexual reproduction requires two partners, that is male partner and the female partner. So two different types of gametes are produced. There is a fusion of gamete. Once the gametes are fused, the zygote will form, it converts into embryo. So likewise the procedure is there. So we are going to see this procedure in a sequence. So first part is a gametogenesis. Gametogenesis. So last time I already told you that genesis means formation. So gametogenesis is a formation of the gamete. As sexual reproduction has a male gamete and the female gamete, so the different types of gametes, that is male gamete and the female gamete, has been produced, and the formation of male gamete and the female gamete is called as gametogenesis. The first step is the gametogenesis. Now once the gametes are formed, the second step comes. So what is the second step? That is the insemination. Okay, so insemination is what? That the introduction of sperms are the male gamete into the female reproductive system. So what is insemination? Insemination is introduction of sperms into the female reproductive system. Okay, so this is the second step. What is the third step? That is internal fertilization. So what is internal fertilization? Once the gametes, male gamete is introduced into the female reproductive system, there will be sperms unite with the eggs to form a zygote. So whenever there is a combination of sperm with egg, that called as internal fertilization. As if this fertilization takes place inside the womb of the woman, it is called as internal fertilization, or the fertilization taken place inside the body, therefore it is called as internal fertilization. Now next step comes, that is zygote formation. So zygote हम लोग ने पहले 10th में भी पढ़ा था. Zygote is what? When the male gamete unites with the female gamete, a single cell formed by the combination of the male gamete and the female gamete. That combination of cells, single cell, is called as zygote. So whenever the sperm unite with the egg, it will convert into a zygote, or the zygote will form. Okay, so this is the fourth step. Next one, once the zygote is formed, एक single cell का zygote बन गया. Now what is the next procedure? अभी वो zygote divide and redivide होगा और एक baby में convert होगा, और it will convert into embryo. So next step is the embryogenesis. Again genesis, formation. So formation and development of an embryo is called as embryogenesis. Okay, so this is the fifth step. Once the embryo is formed, next is gestation. So what is gestation? Carrying of young in the uterus. Okay, the uterus में young one को carry करना है gestation, and in the normal word we can say it is a pregnancy. Okay, so carrying of young one in the uterus is called a gestation, and commonly it is called as pregnancy. Now after that, next one is a parturition. So what is parturition? That is the childbirth. Once the embryo is developed, completely developed, then the birth takes place, and that process is called as parturition. So which are the different steps we have studied? We have studied different 7 steps in the human reproduction. First one is a gametogenesis. Genesis is a formation of the gamete is called as gametogenesis. Second step is insemination, that is introduction of sperms into the female reproductive system. Third one is the internal fertilization. Okay, means the male gamete fertilize the female gamete, and a single cell form, and the fertilization is called as internal fertilization. Now the formation of the single cell is called as zygote formation. Once the zygote is formed, it is developed, or it will divide and redivide to form an embryo, which is called as embryogenesis, that is formation and development of an embryo. Then next comes gestation. Gestation is a carrying a young inside the uterus. Next one is a parturition, that is a childbirth. So these are the 7 steps followed in the sequential steps in the human reproduction. Hope you have understood. Okay, so to remember this, so we can write down the first letter, that is GII, ZE, GP. Likewise, you write down the initials, and by initials you can remember the different steps. Okay, now next part is the sex organs. So there are different sex organs are present in the male and the female. Now here we can divide the sex organs into 2 parts, that is primary sex organ and the secondary sex organ. Okay, so in male the primary sex organ is testes. What is the function of the testes? To produce the sperms. While in female the primary sex organ is ovary, and the function of the ovary to produce eggs. Okay, next comes secondary sex organs. Now apart from the testes in male, whatever sex organs are there, that sex organs comes under secondary sex organs. And apart from the ovary in female, whatever sex organs are there, that sex organs comes under secondary sex organs. So here I have written other than primary organs. Understood? The sex organs are of 2 types, that is primary and the secondary. In male, which is the primary sex organ, that is the testes. What is the function of the testes? To produce sperms. Then in female, what is the primary sex organ? That is the ovary. And what is the function of the ovary? Is to produce the eggs. Now next comes, that is secondary sexual characters. Okay, so secondary sexual characters means the physical characters which differentiate male from the female. Okay, so these secondary sexual characters are also called as sexual dimorphic characters. Dim is different, or 2 kinds. Okay, so in male the sexual dimorphic characters, external characters, is that beard, mustache, hair on chest, muscular body, enlarged larynx. Larynx is the Adam's apple. We can see here clearly, we can see in the male. So that is these are the physical characters, and these physical characters are called as secondary sexual characters. While in female, which are the secondary sexual characters? That is developed breast, broader pelvis, high pitched voice. Okay, so these are the characters, secondary sexual characters in the female. So basic part we have finished. In the next part we will start with the male reproductive system. So hope you have understood, and if you like my video, please like it, share it, subscribe it, and press the bell icon so that you will get the notification. Thank you.